Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Fatima Nafilza binti Abdul Razak. My matrix number is AM2011008207. For the current issue that relate to early childhood, I choose is child abuse. As we know, nowadays there are many cases of child abuse, especially during the pandemic COVID-19. The journal I choose is entitled A Review of Research on Child Abuse in Malaysia. Based on the journal that I choose, it let me know about child abuse in more depth. As we know, child abuse usually involve physical, sexual, emotional, and others abuse. In fact, child abuse has many types, namely neglect, abandonment, incest, and others where the child is injured not from an accident. The objective that I can see from the journal is first, risk factor of child abuse and neglect. Second, types of reported child abuse and neglect. Third, management towards child abuse and neglect. And lastly, a treatment to them. For the first objective, the risk factor that we can see based on the child abuse first is low socio-economic status. This is because a disharmony family where the family are divorced, suffering from personality disorders and substance abuse used by the parents to hit their child is counted as physical abuse of the child. Second is the quality of the child relationship with the parents. This factor is cause child abuse also because when the relationship between the child and the parents is affected, it will result in the parents being irritable and dissatisfied with their child, resulting in the abuse in the end. This is happen because when the family has step parents, single parents, large household size and others. The environment is also a factor in the occurrence of abuse where it involves the neighborhood, economy, public assistance, crime level and others. In the present of this thing, child will become a victim to the adult where these children will be taken advantage. Okay, for the types of reported child. First is intracranial hemorrhage, which is a brain bleeding that causes the child to die. Head injuries are the most commonly reported abuse for children under 4 years old. The second types of reported is sexual abuse or child neglect. In Malaysia, when this sexual abuse happen, it is related to statutory rape. In relation to statutory rape and teenage pregnancy, it involves between two types of sex, namely forced and voluntary. Therefore, in the presence of report of sexual abuse, it should be examined by the hospital whether the matter was done forcibly or voluntary. The third type is cyberbullying on the internet on social networks. This type is included in child abuse and neglect because nowadays children always play gadgets. From that, children will see the violent display on their respective gadget and commit that violence to other children. This matter can ruin the morals of the nation for the future with bad things. For the third objective is about the management done on child abuse and neglect. First, these children will be monitored or cared for by agencies involved with child safety such as Department of Social Welfare, Police, the Suspected Child Abuse and Neglect, which is CAN team, and the One-Stop Crisis Center at the hospital. This agency will take care of the child emotional, psychological, physical and others needs. This can help child to recover from the trauma they are facing. For the last objective that I can see from the journal is about treatment that the child can get if they being abused. First is spirituality is the things that need to be present in a person to heal from the trauma or feelings felt. This is because survivors often provide encouragement and strength in terms of spirituality, namely prayer, spiritual recitation such as the recitation of the Quran and matters involving the spiritual to find peace and reduce anger in the individual. Second, they can expose to program that can lift their spirit and they feel they can work to change their fate. The program that they can join is a motivational program to love themselves, program that involve them to socialize with people around without thinking everyone is the same, where they want to abuse children and so on. With this treatment, they can improve themselves to a better way. I can see many previous study about the topic that I can include with the topic. First of all is issue of pornography, where it will invite sexual abuse of children. This issue of pornography also involve children because nowadays many children are exposed to pornography, where it is found on website used by children on their gadgets such as Google, YouTube and application that contain pornography issue. This show that parents support the pornography seen by their children, and this make the issue of sexual abuse further increase. If this happen, the children will tend to do what they have seen to others, and it can be incest in the family. Based on the second previous study that I see about the abuse of children with disability. Nowadays, many news abuse of children with disability. When we are dealing with children with disabilities, we need to increase our level of passion because they don't know what they are doing right or wrong, because they are a special one. For example, recently there was a case of abuse against Bella, where she was a disabled child with Down syndrome. As we can be seen, almost his entire body was burned by the hot water spilled on her. The issue is still unresolved due to a lack of evidence showing Bella's caregiver commit abuse against her. This can make Bella trauma and being a quiet children after this and scared to others people. This matter also needs to be given more in-depth attention to address it in the future. There are a lot of theory that we can use to relate with our topic. Based on my topic, I choose two theory, which is first, behavior theory by John B. Watson. By using this theory, we can change their behavior and way of thinking with the reinforcement given. For the second theory is social learning theory by Albert Bandura. For this theory, they emphasize environmental and cognitive factors in the imitation that occur for human behavior. As we know, children easily remember and learn by what they see in their environment. When this happens, it can make children hate others, easy to angry and easy to hurt others even if the person is innocent. Okay, next is a data or statistic relate to the topic. Based on the data shown in this journal, abuse of children from all types of abuse such as neglect, physical abuse, sexual, emotional and others are increasing from year to year. Physical abuse is a common abuse and the highest from 1997 to 2010. This is because from 476 children in 1997, and it became 846 children in 2010 only. Next, sexual abuse, also the highest abuse, which is 219 children experience this sexual abuse, and this abuse continues to increase a lot for each in an estimate 30 to 50 children a year. This is because the children get the sexual abuse increase 937 children only in 2010. From others difference that I get the data of the child abuse, physical abuse, sexual abuse and neglect were the highest until 2017. For neglect, it continued to increase by 1,824 children, physical abuse 1,628 children and sexual abuse 1,294 children in 2017 only. During the pandemic COVID-19 as well, as many as 20% of abuse case increase across Malaysia from March 2020 until now. Conclusion for my topic, which is child abuse. Based on the things that I state from the journal, it can give me new knowledge in terms of abuse factors, types, management and others. By doing this, we can prevent the abuse from getting worse and it can also save the child. For me, children need to be cared for and educated as early as their age so that the child can be a useful human being for the future. Parents or adults should not abuse the innocent child. Be responsible parents for their children because they are a gift to a family. That's all. Thank you.